Hello, this is Astrazeneca coming to you from Chicago. Today is indeed a good day. There was an 8-hour meeting in Washington with 21 experts. FDA presented its views first and said vaccine is safe, vaccine is effective. Then came Pfizer and BioNTech teams. They presented their data. By the way, FDA has already posted all of their analysis online, so if you wish to read that, that would be a good thing to do. So at the end, when the voting came, there were 17 were in favor, 4 against, and 1 did not vote. The major conflict in understanding was, is it safe for children or not? And also, how do we give it to folks who may have had other allergic reaction issues, like it happened in 2 cases in the last couple of days. But now that FDA has done its job and done it very well in a public setting, so now everybody knows what was talked about, there's no vested interest, there's no pressure from anybody. I think FDA is going to approve the Pfizer vaccine under EUA soon, maybe tomorrow, and this will be a good news. But under the warp speed, the jets are flying, the freezers are packed, UPS and FedEx is taking care of the west part of the US and UPS is taking the east part of US, and they're distributing vaccines based on the population. California is getting 330,000 doses, maybe tomorrow. Hawaii is getting about 4,000 or 5,000. So I think it's a good start. But also this is a great day for a new technology, very important technology that had waited for decades to show its value. That is mRNA vaccine. I'm of opinion that we can use this vaccine technology to develop so many more therapies. Perhaps we can have an anti-cancer vaccine, which is more likely, or perhaps we can create an mRNA vaccine that will produce an antibody that will treat the islet cell antibodies as antigen and thereby prevent type 1 diabetes. These are all now possibilities at our hand. And I think this is the reason why I think today is a great day for the science of healthcare. Now keep in mind that the warp speed offered money to many companies. Pfizer refused to take any money. A few weeks ago, Pfizer offered another 100 million doses to US. And guess what? There was somebody sitting there, maybe a pillow guy, who said, no, I don't need it. So they lost it. And now those vaccines are gone to UK, Canada, and everywhere else. Because Pfizer didn't accept any money from warp speed. So that's a sad, but I'm sure in a few weeks and a few months, perhaps at the most, we will have the vaccine. I will get it. I hope you will get it too. But there's another news story that I want to talk to you about, and that is the Astrazeneca vaccine, which was much far ahead of any other vaccine. It was a repurposed adenovirus vaccine. So we did see a lot of issues with safety. Just the efficacy had to be proven. Now, AstraZeneca chose to take $1 billion from the warp speed, and they had a much lower dose cost also, so it was very lucrative. But what happened was that 2 companies as reputable, AstraZeneca and Oxford University, they screwed it up badly. On September, I think 8th, there was a meeting with FDA where AstraZeneca and the whole brass of FDA was at the meeting, where AstraZeneca wanted to know what is the minimal data needed to get EUA. 2 hours after the meeting ended, the news broke out that Astrazeneca had already halted the study in Europe and then in US because of severe neurologic effects in some subjects. Dr. Hahn was stunned. He said, I cannot believe you were sitting with me 2 hours ago and you didn't tell me the most important thing about your vaccine. They lost a lot of credibility. But then, this was not the only snafu that Astrazeneca had. In the clinical trial, one of their contractors, I don't know who they're hiring, miscalculated the dose and gave half the dose to about 2,800 people. And then when they found out, they gave a second dose, which was the full dose. The Zeneca study is reported on this Tuesday in Lancet magazine journal. So please take a look at that if you're interested in learning more about how they did it. But what happened was that this thing was totally out of protocol. But that was not the only thing. Okay? So Zeneca then said, oh, maybe there is a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I think it is. We have a product which is 90% effective versus 60% effective. But you don't have enough data for a low-dose vaccine. Today's the journal article in Lancet talks about dose dependency. But you know what happened? Things go in the threes. They also did not disclose, which came out a couple of days ago, that the second dose that was given to subjects who got half the dose in the first place, not within 30 days, but sometime within 90 days. They refused to disclose this as early as they should have and could have. When you get an IND, there's a responsibility that goes with it. And in my opinion, AstraZeneca just screwed up really bad. And it would take a lot of effort for AstraZeneca to get their vaccine approved. Not because there is any issue with vaccine. I'm sure it's a safe vaccine. It's just that the data is so messed up now. They may have to run another study. They're already doing testing in children in India and other places where the regulatory bar is much lower. So what was supposed to be the best vaccine, the cheapest vaccine, and the fastest vaccine now has been thrown in the backyard, and then it's not coming back soon. If it comes by first or second quarter of next year, that will be the best you can hope for. And I hope this to be a lesson to all other developers, is that disclosure is the key to any regulatory work. You don't mess with any agency. You don't hide anything. Yes, you have setbacks. And you know what? That is why the studies are done in the first place. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. But anyway, with the Pfizer vaccine approved, and I think Moderna will be the next one in line, I don't see any reason. I don't think FDA would have to hold another meeting. FDA does these meetings only when you have a new class of product. Like years ago, they had the first meeting when they were approving the first biosimilar from Sandoz. So they had a similar meeting. So now I think the track is open and is going forward. And I think today was the beginning of the end of this pandemic. I want you to stay hopeful, stay healthy, and let's get over this catastrophe. The year 22 has not been nice, but you know what? We have learned many lessons from it. So yes, we lost so many lives, but if you do not learn something from this pandemic, then we have really lost their value also. Stay healthy, keep a smile.